I'll read.
We're going to gate crash on our anniversary today.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, you.
9 years of togetherness. What shall we do?
9 years of patience. Kaylin and Dan here, Jodie's Explore, and we're having our anniversary date in the beautiful Ingram Valley.
No rat food or ferret food for us today. No nibbles, no fine dining, no waiters. We're just going out in style.
Pasties and bubbles.
Pasties and bubbles. Why
No
not?
fine dining here. There's no small plates of grass with a slice of lemon.
Nah, nothing of the sort. So
Greg's and heartburn. Cheers.
cheers to you.
Oh, my bottoms came off.
Whey.
Bottoms up.
Ching ching.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So, how did we get here? Well, you probably saw the drone footage. We got here in this beautiful green camping machine.
Our Dora.
Our Dora.
Dora Columbus.
That's not how we started. We met 9 years ago. We met at work. But how did we come to work in the same vicinity? It started back in 2008. I was happily working as an electrician at the Royal Victoria Infirmary. One day, Saturday the 30th of August, I was on my way home and I went across a field. It was a big field. And I never quite made it home. I was assaulted. A large group of lads. I say lads, they were kids. And if it wasn't for one female in amongst that group, I probably wouldn't be here today, because those lads, it was a big field. The poor buggers, they didn't have a football, and they decided to use my head. And I ended up in a coma, and if that lassie hadn't have phoned an ambulance and begged her boyfriend to stop, I definitely wouldn't have been here today. I came out of my coma, thankfully. Told my family I would have no quality of life and the possibility of terminating my life support. Thankfully, they didn't go through with the advice they were given, and I pulled through. I had a few difficulties with memory, speech, mobility. I had what's called dysphagia. I couldn't get the words out that I wanted to speak. I knew what I wanted to say, but I couldn't vocalise it. And I became quite frustrated with close ones. Bless them, they were doing their best, and I became quite agitated with people trying to finish my sentences because my words weren't coming out quick enough. I had other difficulties, and I ended up in a rehabilitation hospital, Watergate Park Neurological Hospital. And thanks to the guys in there, I've made it this far. And I begged to go back to work, but they wouldn't allow us. I had difficulty with my speech and my memory. And as an electrician, you need to be able to be on your game, especially when you're working, high voltages. And I was told I couldn't go back to that job. I was adamant I could, but I wasn't allowed. I finished at rehab. I was put into a cognitive ward where, if it wasn't for the physios and I forget the name of them, speech and language, physiotherapy, and there was another therapist, I can't remember what they did, but they helped us a lot. But I still wasn't allowed to go back to work. And I said, right, this is what I want to do. I want to do for others what you did for me. And they were like, that's a lovely idea, Dan, but you'd have to go to university and get a degree, health and so on. And one of my nurses said, I know a place in Forest Hall where they can help you, Maybe do a small work placement as a volunteer and work with people with disabilities. I thought that sounds okay. I'll give it a try. So I went in and I had a look around and I fell in love with the place. I walked into the art and craft department And I thought, this is me. Oh, I could see myself working here. So I went on my 3-week work placement and I never left. I stayed there every single day for a year. Well, not every single day because I had Saturday and Sunday off. But I stayed there for a year and dedicated my time to people who weren't as fortunate as I was. You know, some people were there who also had brain injuries, but just didn't have the pull through that I had. You know, and there, but for the grace of God, went I, and I stayed there. After about a year, my manager sat us down and was like, "Dan, would you like a full-time job?" I said, "Barry, I'd love a full-time job." Thanks, Barry. And there I stayed for 10 years, out and others. And then one day, in walked this beautiful blonde lassie. And there it was, September the 16th, 5 to 4, as I was leaving to go home. This little stunner stopped us at the top of the ramp and said, "Are you walking home tonight?" The gist of that was, we'd been working together for a while. Caitlin often got the bus to and from work, you know, because obviously our legs didn't work as well as mine. I walked up and down.
Easy.
I walked up and down that hill every day. And Caitlin asked us if I was walking up the hill that night. And there we were. Saturday. It was the 16th of September. And we walked up the hill back to my house. Caitlin's never been home since.
And 9 years later.
Happy anniversary.
I mean, I speak for everyone that, you know, you're an inspiration for what you've been through. And I know that you've not went to full detail. I mean, you went through years of trauma.
I've
Really.
skipped bits out, you know, it's a very long story.
And you know, you still live with that now, mentally and physically.
Yeah, I missed out that I also developed epilepsy because of the brain injury. And that really impacted us because, you know, the seizures, you can't work in certain places if you're going to have a seizure.
Driving.
You can't drive. Thankfully, Caitlin drives this little beast.
Gets to about a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, less of me. It's just, I'm always being told, get your story out there, get your story out there. It's like, some people are sick of my story. You know.
Definitely not. I don't think anyone would be sick of hearing you overcoming and achieving what you've achieved ever since then. All the odds were against you, and now look at you. You know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wasn't there at the time, but your family members who were by your side and saw you practically, you know, close to dead, really, to put it bluntly. And look at you.
Yeah, well.
Pain in the arse, but you know,
I
it's
was given a brief chance back on the tools, thanks to a company. I won't mention any names, but Jimmy McCutcheon, I know you're one of our top fans. If you're watching, give a massive thank you to Ian, your nephew, for giving me that little boost I needed, letting me back on the job. He was confident, and thanks, Ian.
top blow.
Top bloke. So, we're back in Ingram Valley. Surprise, surprise.
And I think it helps. You know, there's a lot of people that struggle with brain injuries and epilepsy. There's a really good charity called Epilepsy Action, and it's there's a huge stigma around epilepsy, and there's such a good charity to advocate for people that are struggling to speak for themselves and just not knowing how to navigate, you know, a world living with epilepsy. It is scary, but it's, yeah, the right support and the people around you. It's such a good charity. And the likes of you, Dan, who speak out to talk about brain injuries and, you know, other health issues, looking at you, you wouldn't think you'd been through any of that
That's the problem sometimes, because people look at you
and judge.
and judge because, oh yeah, I can do this and I can do that. I can't all the time. You know. Sometimes if I overexert myself, I get too hot, I get too, too excited. It can just happen, bang, and there I go. And it's hard for my family, my friends, my loved ones, Caitlin, she has to witness, me just losing control of myself. I lose control of everything. I lose control of my bladder. Costs a fortune in mattress cleaning. But I'm not ashamed of that. I used to be, but that's just me now. It's who I am. And if you don't like it, subscribe somewhere else. See you. That's the way it is, though.
And your bravery's next to none, Dan.
Anyway, enough about me. Here we are, like I said, in Ingram Valley. I'm sorry that the camera seems to be...
Yeah, we're not on a boat.
We're not on a boat. It's a little bit windy out here. And stabilisation doesn't look that good.
That's why I'm sitting in the boot. We're planning on having the seats outside.
Yeah.
But it's cold, man. Like,
Freezing.
summer has come to an end.
Got what Greg's,
Yeah.
the Champers.
What more could you want?
You can't want anything else. We're living the dream. But anyway, just a brief one today, but thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you on the next Geordie's Explore.